welcome to the foreigner in the Philippines.
Welcome. What we wanted to talk about today was a comment that we had about healthcare. What do you do about healthcare? A lot of the expats that would like to be here are concerned about healthcare because they're going to have to pay. If they come from the UK, they're there because I know it sounds terrible to say, but they can afford to be sick there because healthcare is free, and they can go in and they can have a heart attack and not be bankrupt as well. So that's a big concern for British expats. For Americans, they're already on their own as far as I can see. Now, if they're retired, they might be on Medicare 1, which is a given, but then there's Medicare 2. Now, when I first came out here, I didn't know, but they were already deducting $150 a month from my pension for Medicare 2, and as it's no good to me out here and I didn't intend to go back, then I cancelled that. So that was my move on that. What did I replace it with? Aspirin? No, I don't take any. Maybe I've been very fortunate. In fact, I have. I enjoy very good health. I'm still very active. I don't have a lot of the issues that I hear other people have. In fact, at one point, I was in a small band, a brass quintet, and for the first few visits, I almost quit because all they ever talked about, men around my age, all they ever talked about was the operations that they'd had. Well, they'd had a cancer of this and a blockage in that and a bypass for that, and it was all talk about being sick. So that didn't go down well with me. I just feel the more that you talk about being sick, the more likely you are to be sick. So I tend to stay off that subject. Beth and I know very well that time is against us. We know this, but we don't. Another comment was, have you made arrangements for Beth after you are passed? Well, we've made arrangements for the present, for living here. One woman, when she knew that I was staying here for good, she said, "Well, so you've come here to die?" So I said, well actually no, I've come here to live. So that's the emphasis of our life, that we're quite aware of the math. We can do the math, even I can do the math, and we accept that, and we get on with our life on a day-to-day basis. What do you say?
Yeah. What would I say?
What would you say? I don't know. Sometimes even when I know what you're going to say, I don't know what you're going to say.
Yeah. What would I say? So one of our subscribers asked about she sent an email to parents. What's the medical?
What insurance?
What insurance? What insurance should had parents had? And because that expat also is planning to move in the Philippines, so parents responded to him and says, "Sorry, I cannot answer you about it because I don't. He has no insurance here, and he has no insurance at all, right?"
No. So it's not looking good for me, is it? I got no insurance. I'm an old fart, and I'm not even going to be saved yet because you're still praying for my. What are you still praying for?
For your salvation.
My salvation. I was going to say my retribution, but that's not quite the right word, is it?
So, yeah, he has no insurance when it comes to medical aspect or any insurance at all. So, and we talk about, so what we did is I continue my insurance, my Philippine insurance, my healthcare, So, since I worked before, so I just continue that insurance, paying every quarter,
So you had insurance before.
Yeah, I had insurance before.
And now I'm included.
Yeah, I continue. I self contributed in that Philippine insurance health that we call Phil Health. So I pay that 200 per month. So which I paid 600 per quarter, and I included Terence as my dependent.
As a liability.
No, it's not liability. No.
Now, you got to include in here as information that if you go to a public hospital, you're really on your own, aren't you, there?
Yeah, when you go to the public hospital, mostly if you have a PhilHealth, you're covered with a PhilHealth,
If you've got good insurance.
Yeah, no,
isn't it just like America? If you've got good insurance, then...
No, it's a government. What we have is a government insurance. We call it PhilHealth. The last time, just to forget, Nanay was being admitted last year for 5 days, in the public hospital in Taliban, which is government hospital, and I think Nanay's bill is come up to 10,000 something. 10,000.
Well, it cost us about 30,000 in the end, didn't it? Because here, a little bit like our last video where we explained about how when you go into a repair shop for your car, they tell you what's wrong, and then they tell you what's needed, and if it's a top hose or a bottom hose or a water pump, then you go down and you go to the nearest spare parts and you get the water pump and you bring it back and they do it. Well, it's the same in the hospital, isn't it?
No, it just happened that when Nanay having his bad cough, and he's having because he's having a high blood at time also.
High blood pressure.
Yeah, high blood pressure. So we bring her in the hospital, and not including the outside that we bought, okay? So the total bill in the hospital, all the medications that Nanay take is around 10,000. I think, if I'm not mistaken, is 10,260 point something. So all that, when I go to the billing office, I presented Nanay's senior citizen and her PhilHealth, which is the insurance, medical insurance, and it was all covered by the insurance, by the PhilHealth.
It was all covered.
Yeah, all covered. So in other words, Nanay didn't pay anything because it's covered.
Didn't we go out and buy?
Yeah, we go out and
buy.
There,
they don't tell you, obviously, if it's a human being, they don't tell you you need a new water pump. They tell you, well, here's a prescription, and then you take it outside the gates of the hospital, and right there is a pharmacy, and they will fill out that prescription, and then you come back and you give them that. But didn't we have to take her food, and they don't serve? Oh, they did serve food.
They served food to Nanay.
But it was awful. Was it?
A little.
Wasn't it awful?
So don't criticize the food. It's still a
criticizing the food. I didn't have to eat it. Didn't we take Nanay's food?
Yeah, we bring food for Nanay, special, just so because that food that we serve is a little,
Didn't we take it home and the dogs wouldn't eat it either?
Don't say that. So when we arrive in the hospital, it's night and it's Sunday, and their pharmacy is not open. So the nurse says that you need to buy it outside.
Oh, they had a hospital pharmacy?
They had a hospital pharmacy, but at the time that Nanay was being admitted, it's Sunday night, so they don't have pharmacies there. Their pharmacies is closed. So they recommend us to buy all the other initial treatment for Nanay, medicine. So we bought 2,000 something. But at the end, it was been refunded by the PhilHealth after 3 months or 4 months. you know.
But what about when I was bitten by the dog
Yeah,
in Cebu?
it was not covered by the PhilHealth.
Right.
Yeah, because it's injecting. In fact, we almost around 24,000 for your.
Well, I went to a sari store, and like a sari store, it's a very tiny little store, but it will all be bars, right? So it's a complete mesh across the front, total security, and you get served through a very small opening like this, and you have to lean down in order to give your money and say, "Can I have one egg, please?" And they say, "Certainly," or whatever. And when I did that, a dog leapt up and bit me in the face. And then when I put my hand down like that, it bit me again in the hand. So when I got home, it actually went like that. It was the tiniest. It didn't savage me, okay?
Yeah.
It was the tiniest thing. And there's a little speck of blood. So
No,
that means...
It's here. I think it's 3 bites. Here.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it was 3 teeth.
Yeah, and
wasn't
then
it?
when you came home, I said to you, "What's happening in your face?" And you said, "I was bitten by the dog." And he said, "Oh, it's okay. And I said, "No, it's
Well,
not."
I said
okay.
it's not a big bite. You know.
But it's still a bite of the dog. Plus, it's near the brain. You know?
Yes, but it's
Yeah.
so it's a very small target.
Yeah. So he has a 3 here. You know. So I said to her, I go to the store and I said to the woman, and then the woman says to me that no worries, the dog is being injected.
Yeah,
you
she
know,
showed
no
us the
harm.
papers and all of
She
that.
showed us the papers, but
But Beth was working at a hospital at the time, so
Yeah.
I had to go to the hospital. Believe me, you don't want to do that. You know, if possible, you don't want to do that because how many? What was it? 15 injections.
yeah,
15 injections. Some of them into the face.
and for anti-rabies because I
Because
asked the
people are
doctor.
people are dying, especially children, are dying of rabies.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and the disadvantage of that is it's near the head. You know the effect.
Well, the main disadvantage is that you can die. And,
Yeah.
the disadvantages after that don't
It's just-
really matter.
The difference between this man, you know, he said it's okay, no worries, you know. And then there's another time that he passed by, and he was knocked down by the jeepney, and he came home. He said to me, "I was knocked down in the jeepney, but don't worry, I'm okay."
Well, I was. I mean, I wasn't run over by
But
a
it's
jeepney.
still
Yeah.
endangered for
It
that.
tipped me on my butt, but I didn't get hurt. Didn't hit my head. And the jeepney was hardly moving.
Yeah, and then another thing is when he having a cough, when he having a cold and have a fever, he said, "No, I'm okay."
But that's because I don't like taking medication. Okay, that's all.
Okay.
But I didn't have a single accident today, did I? I'm doing really good today. You're making it seem as if I go out and... Okay, what's the accident you're going to have today?
Yeah, so back to the topic about the insurance, you know. So for those who married to a Filipina wife and you're worried about the insurance, you know, your healthcare insurance, I think as long as your wife has an medical government insurance here, which they call it PhilHealth, you've been covered in it. So even it's just a small amount, it helps to paying all your bills in case you've been go to the hospital.
Yeah, but what I have seen, if you go on the expat sites, which don't speak very well about most things Filipino, unfortunately, they're not very complimentary about medical facilities. In fact, they're quite dismissive of anything that is there. And certainly the hospital that I saw Nana in would not be acceptable to most expats, especially in America where they tend to be high on insurance there, and they're more like 5-star hotels from what I saw. Not quite so much in the UK, where they're a little bit more practical, and they're not on insurance, so therefore they're more real on the cost. But you're not going to be happy as an expat. You're not going to be happy with hospitals that you'll see. Even the one that you went in, which was the one you used to work in, it wasn't exactly great, was
No,
it?
it's great. It just happened that the government hospital and the private hospital has a different, different when it comes to
Standard.
facility and the standard. Because if you compare it with the government hospital, especially for those who are in the rural areas, because there are some government hospital which is in the city, they are upgraded, but those who are government hospital in the rural area, there still needs more upgraded when it comes
they'll
to
be
their
very
facility.
basic in facilities, won't they?
Yeah, when it comes also to their doctors, because I remember at Nana, she's been admitted in the hospital for 5 days, and then the doctor said when Nana conducted the X-ray, and the doctor said, "Oh, there's no problem. The X-ray is still good, the result." But then when there's some medicine requested for Nanay to take for, I think, 7 days after she was being discharged in the hospital. But after that 7 days, Nanay is still, and it's very sounds. It's like there's
Sounds like she was congested.
yeah. So, in fact, I bring her again to the clinic for check-up, and then the doctor give another set of medicine, and after a week, I think you've been in UK that time, and then it's the same, no good result, and then...
So in other words, the medical care is not a whole lot different to in the West, where the doctor is likely to say, "I'm going to prescribe this. Let's try this."
And then Nanay, finally, there's a good doctor in Taliban, which is specialist for internal medicine. So we go, but it's a little bit expensive, But we go there, and then he looked the results of Nanay, the laboratory and the X-ray, and then he says the X-ray, "Oh, there's a phlegm, right?" So in other words, there's a problem. And I said to the doctor, to that doctor, that when we were been in the hospital the other month, and then according to the doctor, that it's okay. And he said, "No, it's very clear. There's a phlegm." And then I said to the doctor, and then the doctor asked me, what's the kind of medicine that it was been prescribed by the doctor in the hospital? And I said, that kind of medicine, doc. And he said, "It's not good for your mother. Your mother is 68, and that kind of medicine is not good for her because of her age." And I said, "Oh, really?" So I just realized that, it's really different when it comes to private hospital and government hospital, But I don't want to generalize, because there are good doctors, there are good government facilities now that is been upgraded by the government. So
So hopefully things are
we just hope
getting
that
better.
everything things going better and improving. The improvement, the real change that my President Duterte, is promising. So that's how it is.
Yeah, I have to say that at one point when I was working in the house, using the electric drill into metal, and a tiny speck of metal went into my eye, and we tried all kinds of things to get it out, but it was embedded into the eye, and we ended up going to Tagbilaran, and they were excellent. I remember that when I first got that in my eye, we went to Taliban, and we went to the eye.
Yeah, we're going to the eye clinic in Taliban, because you have a polling object. What do you call it? Polling object?
Foreign object.
Foreign?
a foreign object in a foreigner's eye. Of course it would be a foreign object. Anyway, we went in. Now, here's the interesting thing, and expats who are experienced in this will know what I'm talking about. And expats who are coming out here should know what I'm talking about. And that is, because the man looked at my eye, he did he helped, he put some drops in there, he helped, and then to an aside to Beth, he said, I could take this out, but you should go to Tagbilaran.
Yeah.
And Beth said, oh please, can't you just take it out? Can you do it? And he said yes.
Yeah, because it's traveling Taliban to Tagbilaran is a hassle, you know.
Yeah, it's 2 hours on a bus.
Yeah, 2 hours in the bus, and it's very, you know.
And it was incredibly uncomfortable for me, because my eye just kept streaming, tears just kept streaming. Anyway, he admitted, yes, I could do it, but he's a foreigner.
Yeah, I said to the doctor, please, because the doctor, I said to the doctor, Doc, can you just please take that foreign object in his eyes, you know, rather than we go to Tagbilaran. And he said, yeah, to be honest, I can get that, you know, if he is a Filipino, because you know what means the cases is, in case something's gonna wrong with that, when I do that procedure and something's gonna get wrong, foreigner is very, very bad when it comes to going to the lawsuit, you know, going to file a case.
What he said was a foreigner would have the money to file a case, whereas a Filipino would probably not have the money to file a case, and the whole thing would be forgotten.
And I said to the doctor, Doc, he is a foreigner, but he has no money. I can guarantee you that we will not file a case. We don't have money. That's why we don't want to go to Tagbilaran.
Yes, dear.
Because
yes, dear.
our
We don't have
budget
to keep
is just
on about my
enough.
having no money.
I'm just telling what the scenario when we go there.
Yes. But honey, we're saving up to be broke, remember?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a secret that we always broke, okay? So that's enough.
Yeah, I think so. So we've given you the complete answer to our medical insurance. It's called none.
Yeah,
what
we
will
have
happen?
insurance, but
We
it's
have a little. Yes,
health
that's right.
insurance.
What would it be? A splinter in the finger or something like that?
No, I
Will
think.
be 100%.
For example, no, it's as far as I remember, it's government now is upgraded for the insurance. Okay.
Or two splinters in the finger.
Maybe if we have a bill of 40,000, maybe 20 deducted, or depend, because it depends on the case. Okay, it depends on the diagnosis of the patient, because that's the basis.
If it was only 20,000, where would we find 20,000, Johnny?
God will give us. Okay?
God.
So please like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. and please comment so that we will be able to know what's the next video that we're going to do. And thank you. Have a good day, and God bless you all.
Thank you. We hope you'll see us again soon. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.